Welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Ordinary Marathoner podcast. My name is Scott. I'll be your host today. I got an interesting podcast for you today. Something we're trying. It's brand new. I don't know if it's going to work. I have absolutely no idea. This may be either the best podcast ever, or it very well could be the worst podcast ever. But we're going to give it a shot because it's something new and it's fun. And hey, I kind of like that idea. Anyway, you can find this in the back episodes of our podcast at our website. It's called ordinarymarathoner.com. Check it out if you get a chance. You can also find them at the aggregators, places like Stitcher, TuneIn, and iTunes. And if you like the show, hit that subscribe button, and you'll never miss a new episode that way. What else we got? We got our virtual race coming. It's called the Ordinary Marathon. I believe that everyone here is registered. And if not, check out our website, ordinarymarathon.com, and you can register that way. It's $25. It's for charity. Great charity. It's American Cancer Society. And really, we're going to have a blast. It's not until April 27th is when it begins. It's a 10-day race. You don't have to run a marathon. Nope, that's not what we're asking. We just, any level, if you're walking, if you're running, we'd love to have you. It's really just a celebration of the running community, and love to have you join us. And like I said, $25. Come on. It's not too bad. And it's charity. So I think you should do it. Anyway, what else we got? My Twitter account at OrdMarathoner. ORD Marathoner. Follow me there. I'll follow you back. You can get in touch with me there, or our discussion group. And I believe all of our guests today are members of the discussion group. It's on Facebook. It's called Ordinary Marathoners. And if you just go over there, it's a closed group, which is cool because you can post all your runs. You can post all your questions about running or all that stuff. And none of your actual friends see it unless they're members of the group. And it's really, it's a good group, and we approve you right away. So if you join the group, you can get the conversation going on over there as well. Or just be a lurker, and that's fine too. We got plenty of people just sit there and read what we write, and that's cool too. All right, so, I have 3 guests tonight. I don't even know how to start this thing. It's going to be a madhouse. So, I'm going to introduce them. 2 of them have been on the podcast already. Laura Stebbins, say hello.
Hello.
Jen Bergstrom.
Hey.
And the third is a newbie, brand new from, where are you, Michigan?
Iowa. Corn.
I don't remember. Is this what happens when you join the chat and then you don't really read the chat all the time? Matt Ostbloom. Matt, welcome to the show.
Hey.
Matt, how is the weather out in Iowa? Because it's really crappy in Massachusetts where we are. The rest of us here.
Today was pretty nice. It almost got to 40.
Oh, so it's actually nicer in Mass.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Yeah.
That you know what?
Today.
That's the first time anyone has ever said that sentence.
It's nicer in Mass.
Yeah, we got dumped on with 17 inches of snow last weekend too, so that was fun.
Are you kidding? I never thought Iowa was that bad.
Yeah. Well, here's in Massachusetts, it's supposed to be 60 degrees on Sunday and then snow on Monday. So.
We're going to get more?
Yeah, that's what it says.
Oh, you just ruined my
we'll
night.
See. It's still early.
Well, listen, the thing we have in common, and the reason kind of that we're doing all 3 of us on the podcast at once, is that we are all coached by the same guy, Nick Cumbo, who runs a company called Ascension Multisport, which is basically he trains triathletes like the 4 of us. And, we've kind of had this chat on Facebook for a while, and we thought it would be a good idea to just get us all together and do a podcast. And out of I think we probably expected 2 more to show up tonight. But 3 is 3 or 4, well, including me, 4, that's a pretty good showing. So thank you guys so much for showing up tonight.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
And, I think what the interesting thing is, it's Friday night, right? It's 8:30 p.m. We're all triathletes. We're all in training. We're all home. What is going on? Why are we here?
We're old and we're tired.
Because my coach has me doing a 2-hour run in the morning.
I mean, the good news is, I look around and I can see, Laura is actually in studio with me. Matt is on the Skype video, and I see him. He's got some kind of what do you have there, Matt?
What? Where? In my hand?
In that bottle that you just showed us.
Oh, bird dogs. A little bit of, warming up juice. Gotta stay warm here somehow.
Laura and I have some Yingling. Cheers. Jen's got seltzer. Jen, come on.
Like regular seltzer.
2 more weeks on this sugar detox for my other
all right. Well, you know what?
Base.
That's good. You know what? I think, sort of, it's kind of strange. Like, I don't know. Like, I go through sort of waves where my Friday nights would be sort of social, and I'll be out and about and doing things. And then sometimes when I'm really in training and really focused, like Friday night is like a carb loading night and a get to bed early night because you got a big run tomorrow. So, what do you guys got coming tomorrow? Now, Laura, I know you said you have what?
A 2-hour run.
2-hour run. All right.
Not too bad.
Jen, what do you got going on tomorrow?
Just a 16-mile run and then yoga and another 12-mile run on Sunday.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah. I'll trade you my 3.5-hour trainer ride on Sunday.
What do you? Oh, 3-hour trainer ride.
3.5.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I thought more because that's what I'm doing tomorrow too.
My butt's hurting. You have a 2-hour run tomorrow? Are you doing the trainer tomorrow, Matt?
Yeah, 3.5 hours.
Oh, man, and we're all in the trainer still because the weather sucks.
Yeah, pretty much.
When is this thing gonna break? When are we gonna get outside? Laura, I know we have actually share the same bike shop.
Yes.
So I'm gonna. Well, you have a brand new bike.
I do. She's so pretty.
And you haven't been able to bring her outside yet.
No, she's fragile.
So mine is like a year old, and I feel like I need a tune-up. Because do you guys? I mean, I don't know jack about bikes. Do you guys do your own stuff, or do you just have the shop? Like, I think Laura and I kind of share the same thing. We bring it to the shop and have them take care of it. But do you guys actually do your own bike maintenance?
I have either Nick helps out, my husband John can do some of the stuff, or I take it to a shop. So. What
about you, Matt?
It kind of depends. A lot of small minor stuff I'll do myself, but once a year I will take my bike in and I'll have them go and do a once around. So just kind of do all the cables and stuff like that for me.
And I don't know what they do. Yeah, I guess they gotta look at the cables. I had a friend of mine who we did Ironman Maryland together, and we were lucky it was Maryland for him because what happened was his the cable on his shifter for the big chain, little chain. The front shifter, it snapped. I think it was the morning of the race. Ugh. So he gets to his bike and he looks and the cable snapped. And now he can't, so he's stuck in the big chain and he can't shift into the lower chain. So his decision is all right, he can move it manually to the lower chain. But where does he want to be? Because during the race, he's not going to be able to shift. But the lucky thing was we were in Maryland. Which is definitely flat. It's just flat.
I think the main hill in Maryland's like an 8-foot elevation.
It's a little bridge. They make a joke out of it. There's you go through this park and there's a little bridge and it's
the hill
elevation 8 feet.
So luckily for him, there really wasn't much of a need to shift.
Yeah, but if you were in Lake Placid with that, or if you were in
Oh no, you would have been screwed.
Wisconsin, for sure.
Oh, but he did well. He's way better than me. But he's actually doing Lake Placid this year too. So Laura and I, kids. So Laura and I are doing. Probably our big event this year is Lake Placid. Although I got to say, I'm doing the half marathon in Cheshire. You should do that one too. And Jen, you should come out and do that one too if you want. It's the last
April 29th.
Yep, April 29th. And for those of you out there,
it's a little close to. Well, it depends.
Well,
it's close to Manchester to Monadnock, so I think that's the weekend I have to do 30.
So you do the half, you just keep going.
Yeah, you just run from where you live to the half. Do the half, and then we'll
you know what the beauty of doing ultra marathoning or ultra running last year and this year is? I don't have to be on the bike. Next year I'll have to go do Montrabant, going back to Ironman, but
Yeah. So what do you got?
I have
so
to
is
be
that
on my feet a lot.
so Jen? I know we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but just to get your big event for the year. I mean, is that the one? What's your big event for 2018?
October, the Javelina 100.
Right. I knew that.
In Arizona, I'll be probably. It seems likely I'll be staying with Melissa.
Okay.
She'll be the one. Jenna's going to be the one dressed like the Day of the Dead girl.
No, he already.
Nick said no.
Nick snayed.
What?
We were going to do right costumes. Jen was going to wear a costume of mine from Halloween this year. And Nick said, absolutely not. You're not wearing a Halloween costume to go run 100 miles. He's such a party pooper.
That's what you get for having a coach. So Matt, what about you?
It's a party in the desert, and there's a costume contest and everything.
Knowing you though, you want to be in that. Like that's your thing. Like you're. So is the costume contest for like separate from the race, or is it actually you have to run in your costume?
You have to run in it. Some guy ran in a Fred Flintstone costume and carried the like kind of a very lightweight car the whole entire way. Like
that's for 100 miles.
It's actually on the website, like as one of the if you look up the Javelina 100 as one of the main ones, but he won, I think, the costume contest.
He carried that.
Apparently, he carried it. Someone said for 80 miles.
No.
Yeah,
unless there's secretly like an engine in it.
Even lightweight, it's like the Yabba Dabba Doo stone car thing, but it's not, it's just like lightweight made out of cloth. But
that's crazy.
Still, I wouldn't want to carry that for.
I don't even like carrying my hydration. Never mind
carrying
a car.
That's why I like my hydration vest, because I like to run without stuff in my hands.
Yeah. So Matt, what about you? What do you have going on this year?
More little stuff after Ironman last year.
Which Ironman did you do last year? Just so everyone knows.
I did Ironman Wisconsin.
Okay, what'd you think of that? Because I heard that was really cool.
Yeah, the city of Madison does an amazing job putting it on. The venue is really, really great. The bike course is stupid tough. For anybody who's never done it, it's very hilly and it's very technical.
And the roads are shit.
Yeah. Yeah. You do a little bouncing around. But the run is really cool because you go right through downtown Madison and and you run like right through the college. You run in Badger Stadium. People kind of hang out. Even towns around, when you're biking, they all treat it like a big holiday and they tailgate for it. And by the time you're rolling through, they're all feeling pretty good and they're cheering you on pretty hard. So it's a good time. It was a lot of fun. The city is gorgeous. So
that's great.
Definitely want to go back and do it again.
Was that your first one?
Yeah.
Wow. So we're all kind of, we've all got a couple under our, got some under our belt. We're all kind of, I don't know. Jen, I know you've done it. I know Laura's done one.
Yep.
And she got the tattoo to show it.
I do.
I'm still debating. You know what? Can I tell you did I tell you my tattoo story? It was like, I think I told you, I think we were talking about it. Like, I wanted to get the tattoo, but then like after Ironman, I put on like 25 pounds. So like in the beginning, it was like, all right, I'll get the tattoo and everyone will be like, hey, look at that guy. He did an Ironman. That's awesome. And then now if I get the tattoo, it'll be like, oh my God, that fat guy did an Ironman? So that's not the reaction I want, That's not the reaction I want. So I don't know. Maybe
well, if you get it, you might encourage more people to do Ironmans because then they want to be.
But I don't want more people to do it because I want to make sure I get into the events that I want to get into. I don't want any competition. So I don't know. It's funny because like my daughter's 8 and she's like, Dad, you need a tattoo like your friend. Like everyone that's done it except for Jen. Matt, do you have one?
I do not.
Are you thinking of getting one?
So I'm more ambitious with mine, and I decided I'm not getting one until I do Kona.
Ooh, all right. That's I can deal with that. That's like that's ambitious. Ambitious. You know what? I'm doing the same thing.
Yeah.
I got a lot more improvement to do.
Legacy slot.
Honestly, that would be under the only conditions I would get one, because I really don't want to brand myself with
You don't like
something
that corporate
people
logo.
have absolutely no idea what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I will say, I had someone tell me once, I was in line at a store and he's like, that, I like your tattoo. And I was like, oh, he's like, what's that mean? I'm like, oh, it's Iron Man. I explained it to him. He's like, oh, no, not that tattoo. He was talking about a different one. And he's like, yeah, I don't like that other one that you have. I'm like, dude, like, I don't care that you don't like it. You don't even know what it means.
Man.
So the people that recognize it are those are your people.
Well, you know what's funny is like
either that or it's just personal, because it's an accomplishment. So, I mean, yeah.
Right.
It depends on what it means to how to me it's not extra motivation or I know I already did Iron Man, some Ironmans, and I prefer if I'm going to get more ink, which I'm going to get a arm sleeve tattooed eventually. So I do want more ink, but it's just not an MDOT.
So are you going to like put like any kind of like connotation to swim, bike, run, or?
I think it's going to be more nature oriented. I like the Japanese style. And I was thinking of doing a scene in the Japanese style, going from mountains all the way down to ocean. Yeah. And then maybe integrating like some cherry blossoms to like tie the whole thing.
I should have like a tattoo artist sponsoring the show. I feel like
yeah.
That would be a good.
I know a few, so that's good. I do.
Because I think I drove by the one where you got your tattoo, and it's in 16 acres.
It is, yeah.
And I think I drove, and it said like
Mystery Inc.
So my daughter was like, she's been talking about this thing forever. Like, you should get the tattoo, Dad. You should get, and of course I'm thinking about it, but I also don't want to like set the wrong example for like a 9-year-old or 8-year-old getting a tattoo. Like I want,
right.
But I'm like, all right, maybe I'll just because she knows how much I trained and she know how much it meant to me. So I'm like, all right, if I got it, maybe I'm just gonna get a small one, and I would just thinking about just bringing her with me, so that you kind of like you take off the veil of like.
This hurts.
Right. Like you just I mean that's part of it too. So she knows like what she's in for. So she's not 16 going, "Oh, I want a giant tattoo." Without knowing how, what Dad went through in order to, and all that stuff. And then there's a big sign on the door that says like no one under 18 can even enter.
Right. You can't even look through the window.
Well, you also don't want her to do it when she's 18, 19, 20. I got some done back then, and I haven't gotten tattoos since, but I've had this kind of planned out for 3 years, and I'm probably not going to get it done until I'm 40. So another 3 years. But
right. Yeah, and Scott's planning on getting on his lower back too. So that's one of the painful locations. Yeah. So that's part of the reason he's putting it off.
I have one on my arm, and it's like a little band, and I was in college when I got it. And it goes halfway around my arm. And so it's like $125 or something. And the guy's like, and I'm like, all right, how much to finish it and do another half to go all the way around? He goes, oh, $125. I'm like, you're not going to give me a discount just to finish it? He's like, no. He's like, not only that, but on the inside of your arm, it's going to really hurt. So I'm like, all right, I'll just take what I got.
Yeah, I've got a band that I got done in college that goes halfway around for the reason that it was going to hurt like really, really badly, on the underside of the arm. So,
yeah. So listen, I want to take a break here. And when we come back, we invited Nick Cumbo to come on the show, and he didn't show up. So I think it is our duty as his proteges that, we talk about him. So let's do that. And, we're going to hit the break. We're going to come right back. Hey guys, my friend Lauren is creating an incredible resource for runners and triathletes. It's called raceadvisors.com. She has amassed a list of thousands of races, 5Ks, 10Ks, half marathons, marathons, ultramarathons, and triathlons, and anything in between. If you're thinking about running a race, look it up and check out the reviews. Have a favorite race of your own? Look it up. See what others have to say about it. Or better yet, leave a review of your own. raceadvisors.com. Read it, race it, review it. I want to tell you guys about another great small business I've come across while doing this podcast. It's called Greasy Girl Headbands. I know, I have very short hair, so what could I possibly know about headbands? Well, I know that I bought one for my wife Stephanie and daughter Samantha this Christmas. Stephanie, she uses it for what it was designed for, running and working out. But 8-year-old Sam, well, she just wears hers all the time. So the question is, how can you get one? Well, that's easy. You head on over to greasygirlheadbands.com. It's spelled Greeecie girlheadbands.com and select from the many styles and options they have available. I'm sure you'll find one that's just perfect for you. All right, we are back here from break. We are here with Jen Bergstrom, Matt Ostbloom, not Ostbloom, so I've been told, and Laura Stebbins. We're here. The one thing we have in common, our coach. So I kind of want to talk about this for a minute. Jen, let's start with you. How did you find Nick, and how did you decide you wanted a sort of a triathlon running coach, all that stuff? How did this happen?
So I have had a couple coaches, and I had a coach for 3 years who we parted ways, and then I found another coach for about a year, but then she decided to retire from triathlon coaching, and she is still a friend of mine. So I was on the hunt for new coaches, and back when Pathetics was still a lot smaller than it is, the Pathetic Triathlete Group, I put out feelers for new coaches, and Nick responded, and it was actually, I interviewed him while I was still in the boot after my surgery.
Right.
And
you broke your ankle, right? Like right before your wedding.
Yep.
Yeah, I see. I remember. That's what happens when you come on the podcast enough times.
the picture you had on my first podcast from her wedding, from my husband and my wedding. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I ended up deciding on him after meeting him at a Starbucks because he was local. He was living in Jamaica Plain at the time.
Yeah.
Now he's still local. He's just the other direction. So we met at a Starbucks.
One thing led to another, and now he's
my coach.
Yeah, that's great. So the reason I asked you first was kind of because you were the one that introduced me to Nick, and that's kind of how I met him, and then had him on the podcast and hired him. Matt, how does someone from Iowa find a triathlon coach that lives in
Salem?
Yeah. In Massachusetts? How does that work?
Mostly bad luck. I can't wait till he hears this.
Remember, every time you talk bad about him, you're adding to your workout time next weekend. That's
he gets me back every week. Don't worry. But no, I kind of like Jen. I posted more of a question I had about just like triathlon training, and I just had a couple questions on that Pathetic Triathletes page, and he actually just kind of answered my questions, said, "Hey, I'm a coach. Would you want to chat sometime about possibly, being one of my athletes, yada, yada, yada." And
being one of my bitches.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right, exactly.
So anyway.
Did he at least give you like a free shirt or something?
I didn't get
a shirt either.
I got a koozie.
Anyone get a shirt? You should give us shirts or something. I mean, come on.
We did get koozies.
Oh, I didn't get that. Oh, that's because you probably went to the party.
We did.
Yeah, I didn't go.
I remember.
All right, you know what? The guy gives us beer, so I should just be quiet.
But yeah, I just
and smoke bacon.
I should have went to that party. Damn it.
I didn't have a chance to really interview him like she did face to face.
Yeah.
I'm more just from a little bit of Facebook chatting, a little bit of phone calls and texting, kind of figured out he would be a good fit. And I'd never had a coach before. I was fairly new into the whole triathlon thing. I still haven't even been doing it for about a year at that time too. Maybe a little over a year. But yeah, he just I guess he kind of found me, and it's been a really good fit. I've kind of got lucky with him, really.
Yeah, I asked Laura this a couple weeks ago, but I might as well ask you. Like, so what do you think of is the distance not an issue for you? Is it? I mean, it's just because I think of it sometimes of like a long distance relationship, coach and athlete. And the coach isn't there to kind of like whip you, like get you out of bed in the morning. Yeah. Like you have to have kind of that own motivation. Do you find that, I mean, obviously you're able to do that, but, I mean, I guess just any kind of general comments on what it's like to have like that long distance relationship with a coach.
Yeah. So, it's definitely like it, I don't know, you're kind of holding yourself to everything. So he'll, put the workout in Training Peaks, and you just kind of have to hold yourself accountable to doing the workouts. So for me, it's just kind of like, if the workout's here, this is what I'm going to do that day. If he writes, do this workout, I'm going to do that workout because I know, and I trust him that it's going to make me a better triathlete, and it's going to make me a better, just in general athlete. So I'm pretty good if I have a written down schedule, that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick to it. But the other nice thing about Nick is he's pretty easy to get a hold of if you ever call him, text him. I mean, he really does bend over backwards to try to help us out, I think.
He does. He really does.
Yeah, he's, if you ever got anything you got to change, or because I know he'll do, I think he does everybody's week by week, and he'll text me, hey, what's going on this week? Do you have anything going on that I need to schedule around? Or
right, yeah.
So he's really good about that, I think.
I do give him a hard time when I have told him that I had something and he totally forgets it and schedules the workout. And I'm just like, yeah.
I'm just going to delete that and pretend it never happened.
Yeah, but he just, he ends up saying, oh, just do this instead, and, and take Tuesday off or whatever.
Yeah. And he's really good to work around too. I mean, like, if you ever have any questions about anything. So it's worked out really good. And I've actually came out there twice. Once kind of on a whim.
Beer mile.
Oh, jeez.
You guys did that?
Tell the story.
Me and Nick did. Oh, yeah, that was a fun night. And then the second time to come out for Halloween with you guys, and that was so much fun.
Finally got to meet you. Yeah.
I think you guys got to be still like recovering from that hangover. I remember you guys were like,
but the best part is like none of us were hungover because the night before Nick's like, this is what you need to do the next day. Put all this stuff in your bag. Be prepared. And like, I woke up feeling good, so I can't speak for anybody else. But
it was funny because the next day you guys were like, yeah, we don't want to drink again for a while. Me and Nick are cracking open beers like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah. Well, when I had got there, Nick had come up to my car. I was trying to parallel park because for some reason, for God's sake and reason, in Salem, you need to parallel park on the left side of the road, which I'm not accustomed to, and I'm trying to figure out. And it's different. And he was laughing at me. So he comes out. He's like, I've been awake for 24 hours. I'm like, how? Because he's drinking vodka and Gatorade. He's like, because the Gatorade's are replacing your electrolytes, and the vodka's just,
Leave it to science. A coach to know how to drink the right way.
Yeah. He's a good triathlon coach, and he's a good drinking coach.
Exactly.
And you don't have to pay extra for that.
No, that's free advice.
That part was free.
That comes in the package.
He's also willing to coach for other things besides triathlon, other endurance sports besides triathlon.
Well, when's the last time you did a triathlon? Was probably like 2 years ago now, right, Jen?
A year and a half.
Year and a half. And so you've been focused on more on ultra running, and and you kind of haven't missed a step with him. Like he's like a jack of all trades. He's got everything.
Exactly.
So one of the things I'm looking forward to, actually, although I say I am looking forward to it, but and Matt, you're kind of going to be out of this unless you're going to fly in from Iowa. Is that now I have a partner from East Longmeadow. Going out to swim the lake again this year, Jen. And,
yes.
We did that a bunch of times last year. And I know Nick, hopefully his shoulder is back to full strength, and we can get out there.
He's been deadlifting and everything. He's got no excuse.
Some trail run.
Trail runs, yeah.
The next trail run I do will be my first.
I'm dragging you up, dude.
See, I'm paranoid of trail running because the last time I did trail running, it was at Ragnar Trails.
Okay.
And somebody that was on a team with us ended up breaking his ankle. And all I'm thinking about is I have these big races coming up, so to go run through the woods and break an ankle is not on the agenda. So
I sprained my wrist last year, just running down the Skyline Trail locally.
Yeah, you're not advocating for it, Jen.
Hey, I don't need my wrist for running though.
So Matt, it looked like you're not a big trail runner either, but you are a gravel biker. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, that's kind of nice. Like, so I live pretty small town Iowa. So gravel roads are pretty abundant. It's nice because there's no cars.
How much does that I mean, I don't know. I think gravel, and I think almost like running on the beach, like it just slows you down, makes things difficult. You're not using your road bike, obviously. You're probably
no.
Is it like a hybrid or a mountain bike? What are you using?
No, so I have a Salsa Warbird I just picked up, and it sits on 42 millimeter tires, and I can go through just about anything on it. It's so much fun though. Just there's a couple people in this area that kind of got me into it, and it's just kind of nice because you see a lot of different things. It kind of changes up your, like all summer I was doing the tri-bike, so you kind of see the same thing over and over again. You have your routes, but with gravel, you kind of see a lot of different things. A lot of the gravel roads run along like rivers and streams and stuff like that, so you can kind of go along those.
So I ask all my guests this who live in like different places and kind of go through the woods or run at night sometimes. Like so Laura and I, and probably Jen to a certain degree, like the thing that I always get nervous about around here is bears. What do you got in Iowa that scares you? Deer? Come on, man.
Deer are the dumbest animals. Don't even get me started on deer. During harvest time, so the other nice thing about gravel too is most of the people that are out there are the farmers, and the farmers are some of the nicest people you'll ever meet. So if you see them coming, like I've basically played chicken with a combine coming straight at me, and they'll pull way over to the side and let you, go around them.
They let you win.
Yeah,
the game of chicken.
Yeah. So they're all very good about it, which is really nice.
I kind of, I don't know. If there's one thing I thought about Iowa, it's like people are probably corn, but
no.
corn, and probably the people are nice.
And it's very flat there, isn't it?
For the most part, yeah. It depends what part. If you get more by like the Mississippi River, it's very hilly. Because I went to college in Dubuque, Laura's college. Woo-woo.
Shout out.
Yeah, and do try. Woo.
Is that an agricultural school?
No, not even close.
Is it a drinking school?
Is it a gravel road biking school?
It's Catholic, so yes.
Yes.
But yeah, it's super hilly in Dubuque.
So,
but
what's the gravel race you have coming on, though, Matt?
What's that?
You have a gravel race, like a big one.
Yeah. So I'm doing the Almanza 100. It'll be 100 miles of gravel. It's supposed to be pretty hilly. But
where
everybody
is it?
It's in Minnesota, so it's southeastern Minnesota, I think, kind of by like Stewartville and Rochester area. Mm-hmm. I believe, I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's supposed to be a really pretty course. The couple of gravel races I have done, they are all really, really pretty courses. So
does Nick have you on the bike mostly now? I guess I'm assuming is it when you said you're on the trainer for 3.5 hours
right?
as well?
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of longer bikes, but I'm still running a lot too. So like last week it was like 3 hours on the bike and a 2-hour run. So it all kind of mixes together, I think.
Yeah, it all works. It all, the running helps the biking, I think.
Yeah,
and probably
exactly.
vice
Biking
versa.
helps the run.
Yeah, the biking definitely helps the running.
Yeah.
I PR'd my half marathon last year, And I was shocked how much. I think I PR'd it by like 15 minutes and hadn't even ran that much. It was all the bike and just all the triathlon workouts.
It definitely does help.
It all helps each other. But
Yep.
I don't know. What do we hear? About 15 minutes in. Do we have anything left to say to Nick before we? I mean, I feel like we kind of we talked about him. We said good things. Almost too good.
He's 5'0".
All right, here we
go. Jokes in here.
Yeah.
You get me and him standing next to each other. It's like a child next to a full-grown.
So now Nick is also 2 inches taller than me, so let's not be so harsh.
I will say too that Nick and I both competed at Ironman Maryland, and I beat him.
An inch taller than him.
But I beat him. I beat the coach. Can anyone else say that?
Does it count though?
I think it counts.
So if he taps out?
Absolutely. I don't care how much his foot was gushing blood.
He better not at Florida because we all paid for it.
Right? So Nick is such a great coach to all of us athletes in his Ascension Multisport. So when he ended up he DNF'd Maryland this year because he ended up stepping on a seashell, cut his foot wide open. So he did the swim.
And it was pretty bad. Yeah. I mean, I'll vouch for him. It was no joke. It was... I think he tried his best, but it was pretty bad.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. So he completed the swim. He completed the bike because we know there's not a whole lot of leg work that goes with the bike. Well, obviously there's a shit ton of leg work that goes with the bike, but
not when you weigh 10 pounds.
Right, when you weigh 10 pounds, it's better. Yeah. But for the run, he ended up tapping out and not being able to do it just because of his injury. So all of the athletes, or most of the athletes with Ascension, ended up chipping in and paying for him to do another race, and he opted to do Ironman Florida this November. So
lots of seashells there too.
Lots of them, yeah. So
we're gonna have to maybe we'll get him some booties.
Yeah, he's gonna have to wear special booties to run into
Can we
the
get
water.
arm floaties for him too?
He should have floaties.
Water
yes.
wings.
I don't know, man. We gotta make sure he, Yeah. It'd be great if we all went down there. That would be really fun.
So I'll be there.
Are you going?
I am. Yeah, I'm going to be down there with Base Performance. So I'll actually be out there in the run tent, and I'll get to see him and make sure he actually makes it to the run.
All right. So I just want to go around the horn here. I think we talked about everyone's kind of next event, and we talked to. I don't know. Does anyone got anything left? I mean, I don't want to.
Yeah. Laura, you need to bring a bullhorn and shout at him.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh, there'll be one, and I'm going to chase his ass down the thing too. Hey, he better hope that he sees that base tent far in the distance and he's not walking, because if I see him walking, he's getting so much shit.
He taunted me from that bullhorn in Maryland.
No, that's why I said you
he
need
taunted
to bring
me.
the bullhorn.
I mean, my coach who DNF'd 2 hours earlier was taunting me.
Yeah, but how many beers did he have him at the time?
I have no idea, but but he was good. Coach. And then he plugged my podcast after, so
he's the best coach.
It evened out. But listen, I want to thank you guys all for stopping by, coming on the podcast. I had a blast. I think it actually worked out pretty well. So
and I think I can say for all of us, we love you, Nick.
Yeah, we love Nick, and also Sarah, who wasn't able to make it. I think we were kind of hoping Sarah would make it, but she was unable to do so at the last minute.
Doing mommy stuff.
And who else is in it? So we have this.
Andy.
We have this like Facebook chat group, and it's insane. It just so it was pinging me like every 3 seconds at work, and I'm like, all right, I gotta shut this thing off. And then I'll finally write after a month. And then I'll be like 10 minutes later, I'll go back and be like, all right, did anyone respond? And I can't even find what I wrote.
I have to 60 unread messages.
So
it's because Matt is talking to himself.
Yeah, that's true.
So Andy is another one. Did we miss anyone?
That was on the.
I feel like we need to shout out to these guys. But Andy,
Tina's the newest Ascension athlete.
Elle.
Yep, Elle.
Elle, we swam with Elle.
Yeah.
What's Elle doing this year, Jen? Do you know?
Elle is doing Louisville.
Is she doing?
Louisville.
Did she do the half last year?
She did a full last year.
A full, but she got hypothermia.
Yeah, she ended up having to pull out on the bike.
Really?
It was not a great year last year for a lot of us.
She's gonna do well though.
She is. She's a badass.
She was fully trained for it too.
Yeah,
it was just if it was the weather, the temperature.
Yeah, she was really nice. We met down and we did the swim and you told you. I think we were like she said she's like oh, I'm not gonna be able to keep up with you guys. And I think the first lap down she was a little bit behind, but then after that she was a pro.
And Shanna, we forgot.
Shanna. All right. Well, maybe you know what, this worked out well. So hopefully, maybe we'll get to do it again one day, and we'll get even better crowd. Maybe we won't do it on a Friday night.
Yeah, I know it's almost 9:30. It's my bedtime.
Oh my god!
I know, it's crazy.
Oh my god!
We're so starting.
I'm actually probably going to the bar tonight. So.
Attaboy. Well, you're also an hour behind.
And you're also 18 years.
It's only 8:30. So
yeah, you're also like 12.
Wait a minute.
You don't even let him in the bars. This guy.
I sneak.
This is a 12-year-old with a beard, so he's fine.
So, anyway, Matt, Jen, Laura, thank you guys all so much for coming on. I had a blast. This worked out really well. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
And you know what? I mean, Jen, you've been on. This is like your third.
Yes.
And this is Laura's second, and Matt's first. Matt's
a virgin.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come on again sometime.
We took his cherry.
You said it. I was going.
You didn't know it was going to be in a 4-way, did you, Matt?
That was a surprise.
All right, make sure my daughter doesn't listen to this
sorry.
one.
Just cut it off.
It's always her. It's always Laura too.
Sorry. Not sorry.
If it wasn't Laura, it was going to be me.
That's all right. She can't sit through 40 minutes of a podcast anyway. The attention span of an 8-year-old is about five. It's like, you know what it is YouTube. It's 5-minute videos, and then that's about it. So, anyways, thank you guys for coming on. Listen, as far as the show's concerned, I got a bunch of guests. I got Denny Cray coming on. I'm actually recording that one tomorrow morning. He's got a new book out. I have Bill Costello. He's the race director of the Cheshire Half Marathon, which is hopefully I'm dragging Laura to do it, and potentially Jen's going to run all the way from East Massachusetts to Cheshire, Connecticut, and then run it, and then run back. But I'll be doing it, and anyone out there who's looking to register for the race, if you use the coupon code ORDINARY, you get 15% off. I get nothing from that. It's not like I'm drawing any kind of like, affiliate fee or anything like that. I just told them to give all you guys, the amount off that I can get. So I would love to see you there. Wear your Ordinary Marathoner t-shirt if you got one. Did I give you one, Laura?
Nope.
Oh, yeah. I think we got extra. Anyway, on that note, we'll see you next week. And always remember, when it comes to running, I'm no expert. I'm just ordinary.